Alright, so today we're going to be talking about a good way to take out Leviathan with a Leviathan, winning that mirror match. Now there's a common practice people will use, a different lineup than the one we're going to show you today, that tends to have pretty high success rate, but also most people will recommend relicking up your characters higher than the required levels. This one, however, is going to help you take out that Leviathan, the ones that people will normally set on defense, or in Fleet Arena they'll use those same ones, and this will counter it without you having to put in any extra effort along the lines of relic levels or too many extra mods or zetas. It should be pretty straightforward. So we'll just go ahead and dive in. I'll show you the ships where I'm at and the pilots, and then we'll go ahead and show you how to get it done. Alright, now moving over and taking a look at the ships that we have set up. I mean, they're all level 85, 7 stars. It's a good recommendation for unlocking the Leviathan fleet. If you don't have them there, definitely take a look at that. You'll notice most of the abilities I've tried to max out just so that I can have the best chances of beating all of them. Yeah, we'll go through each of these. I don't have this one yet. I'll get it in a second. Actually, that's a huge one. We're going to get that real quick, and I'm realizing why that helps a lot. Okay, that's good to know. We'll go ahead and toss that on, and then this one's also maxed out. These last two ships, once again, really don't matter that much. I throw them in the fleet because I want a full fleet, but they really don't matter enough to make a difference. So they're worth, I mean, they're basically, you can ignore them. I do have my Leviathan maxed out. I did work this counter out before using Leviathan at max levels. I had got him at 7 stars, but I didn't have all these abilities maxed. But since getting him there, it has definitely become a lot easier. So that should be it for your ships. Alright, to go ahead and get started, we're going to take a look at the pilots that I have here. These are all the pilots that we use for the Leviathan fleet. If you take a look, I mean, we're going to start up here with our capital ship. Now, there's not really too much to look at here, because I'd assume if you've gone for Leviathan, you have to have him relic 9. You should probably have put all 3 zetas on him. And as long as you have 6 dot mods, your Leviathan is going to be just as good as everybody else's. So there's not too much to worry about in terms of the pilots here. And then the starting fleet, I use Malgus, Sith Empire Trooper, and Sith Assassin. Now this is a little bit different than like the accepted meta, but at the very least, this is the whole point behind this is to beat what everyone else is going to use to beat your Leviathan. This is going to be a good counter for it. These two are at the required relics for Leviathan, whereas Malgus I took up to relic 7 because he's worth having that high, and I do have both his zetas, so that is going to make somewhat of a difference. We can take a look at each of their mods as well. I'll do it this way. I've been working on them, so Sith Assassin's mods have gotten up high. Malgus's I've got pretty high as well. Sith Empire Trooper I haven't put too much effort into yet. I'm just getting started. I will say, however, that this is definitely doable with worse mods than this. You don't need full 6 dot mods. And then we'll come down to the reinforcements page. These 2 reinforcements are the important ones. Let's see if we can get this to scroll down on us. There we go. Also don't have great mods. Darth Vader and Darth Maul are also in the reinforcements here. I throw them in, but you can effectively ignore them. They're not going to do anything really for the strategy, and so there's not too much to worry about there. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and take a look. This is the person we're going to be attacking today. They have the standard Sith Leviathan lineup with the Fighter, the Bomber, and the Interceptor, the Fury class. This is the most common one you'll see because it lets them tank through any hits they're going to take and then use the Sith Fighter to gain turn meter. However, in our particular case with our lineup, it's actually going to help us get around that because we won't be able to. We won't be fueling their turn meter because they'll be attacking the Mark 6 Interceptor, who will act as a bit of a tank for us. So I'll go ahead and show you how that works. So at this point, it's kind of a coin flip to see who goes first. If you have a Relic 9 Revan with all 3 zetas and at least 6 dot mods, it's just going to be 50-50 chance that you go first. Now, it's better if you get to go first, but it doesn't really stop our counter. So I'll go ahead and show. Now, I normally like to use this ability first, but in this particular case, I want to use this one to try and land some debuffs right off the bat. And it's going to drop our stacks a little bit. In fact, I think we're going to get down to 4 here. 5, okay. But it's not too much of an issue because his basic recovers stacks, and calling him to assist with this will let him recover a bit more. And that lands also the Protection Disruption, which is going to give us a little bit more turn meter. You'll notice we're taking a little bit extra turns just to keep them from going a little bit more. Alright, so now we're down to 50% health, so I'll use his second ability. It's not a huge issue, you're just going to want to take turns. And now I'd like a couple extra stacks, so I'll call him to assist. Nice. That's actually pretty quick. It doesn't always go that quickly, but If it doesn't, you can usually still break through eventually. Now, we still want to avoid using our healing ability down here as often as possible, just because the Sith Fighter's still out, and we don't want to give them another chance to gain turn meter. So, here I'm going to bring out the TIE Dagger. Notice I did have that other Leviathan ability open, but you want to call it reinforcements whenever you can. It's not a huge issue, because we're going to be able to overrun him with turn meter anyways, so we're going to go ahead and take out the Sith Fighter. And so now that he's out, honestly, I would be willing to auto it. I'm not going to in this particular case because I want to show you how it's done. Now, if you've gotten that highest ability on the TIE Dagger, this ability will get rid of some of his health, and that'll give us even more turn meter. And now's when we can go ahead and use this ability. So if he calls out another reinforcement, sometimes they'll call out something besides the Mark 6 Interceptor first. It's honestly nice if they do, because if they don't, it'll block our insta-kill from that and actually let them kill us. But we can still usually recover from that pretty well. So once again, we're just trying to get through the Fury Class Interceptor without letting him get too carried away. I don't think he will, but we'll see. Good dodge. Alright, and now we can use our healing ability, although I don't really care to, because we're in a pretty good spot, so I'll save that for later. And at this point, I'm just kind of basicing through the Fury Class. And now is... I always have to make sure we don't have capital ship sabotage, because every once in a while they'll get it out before this, and I'll lose the tank, which doesn't kill the run again, but it's just nice to have it ready to go. So, there we go. So yeah, now we're just trying to break through this Fury Class Interceptor without letting him get too many stacks. We ignore all his reinforcements, because it's not going to matter anymore, because I'm about to take over his ship. And yeah, honestly, if you want from here on out, you could just auto basic and get through it. Even auto special should do the trick. Now, there are some abilities that make this a little bit faster. For example, his swarm ability here. That's just a lot of extra attacks. We're looking for quantity over quality of our attacks in this case. We're just trying to hit him. And you'll notice we're going to get down to 2 stacks, and then he's going to recover, so... Oh, no. We landed Fear. So, we get the turn, and that's it. So it's actually relatively straightforward. There's a lot of things that we could do to maybe mess up a run, but as long as we don't do too many of them, and we're always trying to make the best decisions, it's going to end up giving us the win either way. Alright, so that right there is my recommended lineup for taking out a Leviathan. Once again, like I showed you, I wouldn't set it on defense. It's a pretty easy one to beat, but if you're going offensive Leviathan versus Leviathan, that's what you use. And that should help you if you climb in the hour before your payout. You should be able to take first in Fleet Arena every day, unless you're coordinating with someone else, in which case, every time you need to. But that's the general strategy. Let me know if you have any questions, and that's all.